Hey there, good evening. So, not sure what to say about this, except if you don't already know about the Tomorrow Children, then the next half hour is probably going to look pretty weird. It's a pretty different game from any other games. If you do know about the Tomorrow Children, and you're not one of the people who really didn't like it, then you're probably playing right now. I'm not watching this. But, yeah, my wife and I are sitting here playing. Servers are scheduled to go offline at 1 a.m. PST, which is less than a half an hour from now. So I just thought it'd be nice to kind of capture the last moments. And this really unusual, but really beautiful, really engaging game. And again, if you've never seen it, this isn't really going to be the best example, only because it's kind of like the end of the world is coming on, and everyone's probably going just a little bit more nuts than they usually do, but let's go check it out. But before I go out, so this is what I've been wearing for the longest time. It's an outfit that's got, like, I think, an extra... You can see the bonuses there. Plus dexterity, plus strength. None of that really matters now. I'm going to put on an outfit that I got. Maybe. There it is. So the Silver Muse was only available to people who partook in the public beta. So it's the first outfit that my character wore when I started playing. It seems fitting to be the last one as the game wraps up. That's actually not too bad. So I'm ranked 18 right now. It's been tough to break 20 tonight. Uh-oh, what's going on here? Yeah. So, this person's been dying intentionally all night for whatever reason. I don't know if they're trying to meet some goal. I really don't know what's going on, but I think someone finally got tired of them. They were firing rockets around town. I'm kind of hoping that this is where things wrap up. All night, this has been kind of a community spot. People keep coming over here and just kind of hanging out. That's really been kind of nice. So in terms of my own stats, I didn't make it to level 40. I didn't even quite make it to level 39. I kind of hoped to make it to level 40, but I haven't been playing since they made the announcement over the summer. It's been really hard to play. I don't know. It's tough to dedicate time to something when you know it's going to go away, but naturally I want to be here for the last moments. And as much as I'd like to believe that they're going to do something cool, like they're going to be fireworks or there's going to be something going on in the town, I don't actually trust that they're going to do that. I think it's actually, we're all going to be playing and then all of a sudden, bzzzt, you're just going to disconnect from the server, and that's pretty much it. I mean, that's how it's going to go out very quietly. Oh, are they up to their shenanigans again? Who cares? Not enough time to worry about that anymore. But here's the thing, though. I mean, you know, like I said, I've got just a little over 20 minutes. I honestly don't know what to do at that time. I've kind of done all the things I want to do. At this point, I'd be content just to kind of hang out with people and do all the little gestures. You know, I actually have some Edel dollars left that I never spent. I've been finding some tonight, and I was hoping to find enough to get one more gesture, one nice one. But while I can't get one nice one, the truth is I can still afford one of the more basic ones, so maybe I'll go take a look, see what's there. I can't afford any more costumes, but then, you know, like I said, content to end on this one. For anyone who hasn't played this game, it was a really divisive game. Critics just ripped it up early on. Absolutely hated it. And I never understood why. I try to be kind of try not to harsh on critics too much, you know. It's not just the people are entitled to their own opinions, they are. But honestly, yeah, a lot of the criticism of this game was very, very poorly thought out. Very, very revealing of the idea that there's a very strong monoculture in games these days. You know, you've got to have certain elements, certain ingredients in your recipe, or people kind of wig out. And this game broke a lot of those rules.
Oh, there's no sex, there's no blood, there's no violence.
So, the things that you do in this game, just going around like, okay, people need food, so you gotta shake the apples off the tree and then pick them up and then put them in the pile. It's not like a fun mini game at all. It isn't. This game did something that I've never seen in another game, where it actually found fun in work. But the thing is, not just work itself, but like you see everyone working together here, it found some deeper enjoyment in community. You know, it limited the way you can communicate, which, frankly, in the internet age, with all the flame wars and raging that goes on, ended up being something for the better. You still get griefers, like I was pointing out earlier. There's that person who seems fairly insistent on messing around with things, but you can deal with it, you know. Like, you also saw that same person in jail because someone got fed up with it and set a trap, and so it was an interesting balance, you know. In limiting the way you communicate with people, it actually forced people to get much more creative. And in a weird way that's really hard to explain, it created a stronger sense of community and communal achievement than anything I've ever played, and I think probably more than anything I'll play in a very long time. Too many games these days really are centered on the idea of making people feel powerful in themselves, right? Skill trees, builds, and I can't think of the word I just said. Crafting, and it's all about becoming powerful. In this game, you really couldn't. I mean, you could in a way, you know. It's one of the reasons I'm not really breaking into the top 20 in ranking tonight, is there are a lot of people playing who have, you know, they're probably fairly high level. And so yeah, they've been able to build up enough stuff that they can work harder. Like, that's the benefit of progressing in this game, is actually being able to work better. Anyway. People didn't, you know, read a number of reviews where critics didn't like the art, which I think is pretty shallow. I think it misunderstands the source material that this game draws on. If you look at, go on Twitter. In fact, I'm going to go look at the name now. It's one of the things I follow. It's Soviet Visuals. Now, just search for that, you'll find it. You know, there's a very distinct color palette and design and style that they adopted for this game that isn't beautiful in the typical neon shiny sort of way that games are expected to be, but really beautiful in its own right. And also, no small achievement, some of the technology that they developed for the game. What's going on over there? I see smoke. Anyway, some of the technology that they developed for the game for being able to do this. I'll go ahead and go over and do it. So this is kind of what you do in the game. These weird abstract islands pop up, and there's stuff that you need piled on top or buried inside, and your job is to go get it. To work together with other people and bring it back, and rescue humans who are trapped in these strange little Russian matryoshka. I'm probably saying that wrong. Matryoshka dolls. Very abstract sort of a thing, but you know, not like rocket science or anything. Nothing you can't get used to pretty quick. Oh, weird, nothing in here. So they have allowed these to evolve over time a little bit. I have no idea who that is. Hello. There. Oh, you also get these kind of bizarre creatures. Everything from the little one that looks kind of like a fly that you see over there. Let me go take care of him. There we go. Shotgun. Anyway, there's no way I'm going to be able to demonstrate everything in here. If I wanted to do that, I should have been playing for the last month. These are bad. You can shoot them. And the gun I'm using there is it's one of the things, this was a, free-to-play, what do you call it? Basically, you could buy extra stuff. You could buy in-game currency. You could apply that currency to buy better tools, better weapons, and of course, a bunch of people raged about that, which frankly I never understand. I worked as a programmer for a living, not on games, but, I don't really relish the idea of doing everything I do for free. I mean, open source is fun, but you don't do open source so that you don't have to get paid. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. So, yeah, the shotgun I was using was something that you can buy with in-game currency. You haven't been able to buy that currency for about a month. Somewhere around there, maybe a little more. And so, all the tools people have been using are either things that they have saved up, or they're just these standard tools that just don't work quite as well that you can get from these little stores in town. I'm going to show you one of those in just a moment. They're around here somewhere. And as the town evolves, you can have little things in here like this that really, another example of what the game is like. Where does it serve any? Is it a mini game? No. Does it give you a bonus of some kind? Nope. Yeah, it's a cooperative multiplayer online game, but just in terms of the design, this is just simple and fun. When you're by yourself, it's just like if you were, a kid and you're on the swing by yourself. It's not really all that fun, but when you get a group of people together and everyone's sitting there kind of gesturing at one another, gestures are these things where you can bow to people, and you can blow your nose, or there are all these different gestures you can get in the game. The interactions in the game are intentionally simple, but again, they work. They make this sort of strange, abstract little world where people who really get it, people who really enjoy it, are able to find immense satisfaction in simple cooperation. I can remember early on, one of the first towns that we completed. And again, you complete towns by collecting Matryoshka dolls, which we're not going to see right now because people are either hiding them away because they don't want the town to finish, I think, or they're breaking them. But basically, the sort of weird little story that goes with the game is that something happened to the human race. People were trapped. Oh, there's one now. Good. These little things. So this is one that's actually being restored right now. This machine that we're looking at is... Oh, we're getting up there. We have 17 people to go. 16 after this one hatches, I guess you can call it. And when we hit 500, that's it. This town is done. We've sort of rescued this town, and you go and find another town to participate in. See? So there's the person that was trapped inside there. This weird, vast plain of white nothingness is the void. That's all that's left of the world. We're not actually people. We are projection clones who are sent in to do work to restore humanity. That is the story. And while we're doing that, you can hear all the explosions in the background. Let me see if I can get to a higher place so you can see. No, that's someone attacking our own town. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. That's just the nature of things sometimes, I think. What are you going to do? Because, take this guy, we've been playing for quite a while tonight. We've been playing for a long time tonight. It's kind of how we spent our Halloween. And it's been helping out. It's been perfectly, nice guy and all. Whoops, random coupons. Anyway, it seems like now at the end, it's just, again, it's the end of the world and everyone's going nuts and kind of doing their own thing. What are you going to do? Anyway, rambling a bit. Hopefully you kind of get the idea. You're going around in this very abstract world. You're rescuing people. Monsters are attacking you. Some of the monsters are little... I keep looking around. I was trying to find one of the really big ones. These big Godzilla-like things. There's one or two of them. Bankrupts, I think, are what those are called. They will go through the town and stomp all over stuff and smash buildings and set stuff on fire. And so you're trying to fight off the monsters and build up the town and hatch the people and save humanity. It's just the weirdest combination of stuff, and I love it. And I'm really going to miss it when it shuts down. I think part of the problem, again, it's hard, I think, to overcome an early negative reception. I think later critics were a little bit more thoughtful to be plain. I think they were a little bit more insightful and, you know, were able to challenge their assumptions a little better. What is that? But it really wasn't able to overcome the initial negative reception. I'm really curious to know how this game did financially. We actually, I would treat this kind of like a weekly cup of coffee or two. I'd buy some of the in-game currency so I could get better shotguns and rocket launchers. And there were times when the game seemed a little slow. There wasn't a huge population of people. But I blame myself for part of that, because as much as I like the theme of the game, I'm also sort of a, I don't know, it strikes me as maybe it's a typical sort of American thing that, I was trying to go solo all the time. I wanted to have my town and build things up my way. And so a lot of the time, you go back and look at the, in fact, let's go, I'm not going to leave the town, I'm going to miss the last moments. Anyway, so I would try to do stuff a little too much on my own instead of relying on the community. What's that?
You're too tired. You can't talk to
No, that's part of it. I'm also just, like I said, I'm just keenly aware of the clock ticking down. We've got about 8 minutes here. And I'm like looking around going, oh, okay, well, how do I want to spend my last moments? Like, what are the last things I want to do? And basically what I've done in this game is work. And it's been a lot of fun. Very strange sense of accomplishment we did from this. I hope that it's just a matter of time before someone else tries this again, something like it, something that, again, really breaks the mold, really challenges what games can be, doesn't try to fit into the standard, reliable, and frankly, it doesn't look good. Just today I was reading that they shut down the studio that made Dead Space. Not so much that I loved that game as that they were making a single-player game. This will make sense in a minute. A single-player game that was kind of like Uncharted. Amy Hennig, who was originally with Naughty Dog when the original Uncharted games were made, was, I think, producing, directing it, and they shut down the studio. And they shut down the studio because they're going with massively multiplayer games that are more on the, like, Battlefront sort of thing. There's a lot of push from the game industry to do standard fare. So it's going to be really tough. If you're a game, not to sound too snooty or anything, but you're kind of a game connoisseur, it's going to get tough to find things that are really different, things that you really like. So I was kind of hoping that we'd see more people over here. My wife is playing too. I'm over by the swings. I'm just going to have a seat. I think...
prepare for sadness.
Is that someone shouting through the megaphone? Yeah, so there's a megaphone you can get where you can kind of they give you very limited vocabulary, but you can program little phrases. And someone's been going around shouting very sad things about the last part of the game. Everyone's kind of dealing with it their own way. You notice that there are letters. Those letters you find out in the islands that appear. people have been bringing them back and spelling all sorts of things. I think if you look up here, yeah, fun is the Tomorrow Children. There's been the Tomorrow Children is love, I love the Children. And then there was one somewhere around here tonight that was just, I'm sad. There we go. Seems a gooder way as any to go out. Down to 5 minutes. Actually, you know, I'm not just going to sit here. Let's do this. So do I have any... Oh yeah, I do. I have some points I can give out. So I can do cheer up. So this is nice too. You know, the little gestures that you show one another aren't just there to be cute, though they are. You can also kind of give someone some points. You get a limited number of points per day to spend. Oh, so there's Tia Lorca. That's my wife. She knows she has 3 stars. She's been getting an awful lot of praise from people. See, so that's happening here. People coming up and kind of grouping together and just sort of patting one another on the back. Like I said, if you haven't played, if it isn't something you already did, it might be a little tough to understand, but this is one of the things that makes the game good. And I don't want to get it. So the thumbs down, you can also snub people, but I'm not going to do that tonight. I will see for you do. The administrator, he must be mad. He's important, but not that important. Was that you shouting that? How did you do that? That was a very complicated phrase, though. Did you get a call?
Yeah.
So you can get calls from other towns occasionally, and they'll ask for help. They'll say either come and bring them some resources, or come help them kill some monsters or something. But there's quite literally no time to actually go help anyone. What else do we have? Just wave. This was one of the most routine things you had to do, is just clean apples, putting them in the pile. You can also eat them. Your health is low. It's pretty much the best way to get your health back. Let someone make it rain. Yep. Just look at all the stuff I have. That's never going to get used. That's okay. Well, we almost got a group going here. Let's see, everyone kind of wandered off.
There's a whole bunch of people up by the front.
Oh, here I come. Yeah. This is it. Our nation is sinking. So sad. So you can also, if you have the right gesture, you can cry. But yeah, I'm not gonna. Someone's in jail as the game ends. Anyway, it's been a lot of fun.
Prepare for despair.
Very inventive. Not the sort of thing that comes along very often. It's in development for a very long time. I still remember seeing the initial videos and just thinking, what in the heck is that? And someone made the sun come up. Prepare for rapture.
That's awesome. How do you do that?
I have no idea. No idea. That's awesome, man. It is, by my computer's clock, 1 a.m. Thanks for watching. I think we're probably going to disappear in just a sec here. We're going to hang out as long as it takes. Might take a minute to power down the servers. I don't know. We'll see. Whoops. Good job. That's nice. Whoa! Who did that? No, I'm up on top. I wonder how long their synchronization cycles are.
That's it.
That's it. Thanks for watching. It was a lot of fun. Thanks to Dylan Cuthbert and the entire development team for making something so extraordinary. And you know, thanks for reaching out to players. There are a couple times that you actually, my wife and I both, you responded to tweets and you were really involved in the community around the game. That's really awesome. I can't imagine how you have time to do that. We'll look forward to whatever you're making next. All right. Take care. Signing off. Oh, I think it died. I don't think it's recording anything anymore. How you doing? Yeah. Glad you stayed up for it though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's wrong with your computer?
Oh, whenever it crashes the whole system.